Hello, everybody, and welcome back to my channel. I'm here with Holly, and we are doing tier lists again.
Yep.
We are going to be doing red, white, and royal blue. But before we do the tier list, we're going to talk about the difference between the book and the movie.
Yes.
Warning, 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 there are going to be spoilers.
Yeah.
Every step of the way, there are going to be spoilers. If you have not read the book, seen the movie, and you plan to, don't watch this video because we are going to spoil the crap out of it.
We absolutely are. And if you actually, even if you plan to read the book too, because
We're going to spoil the book too.
yeah, absolutely. So I first read this book because it was recommended to me on TikTok as like a if you like Heartstopper, you might like this kind of thing. So I bought it and decided I wanted to read it before the movie came out because obviously. So then I gave it to Tony because I thought she might like it also.
Yep, this is true.
And then she did.
And I read it. I went back to work. And because it's summertime, it was slow. So I literally like sat at my desk and read it in like 2 days, maybe 3.
Yeah.
So, okay. Book versus movie. First of all, even though I'm sure that I don't need to ask this, which one did you like better?
The book.
Yep, hands down the book.
100% the book. Have such very strong. I don't want to. This might offend people, but I have very strong feelings about the differences.
Yeah, same. So, my whole thing is Red, White, and Royal Blue, the movie, is not bad. It's not a bad movie.
No, as a standalone movie, it's decent.
But if you've read the book,
it's very underwhelming.
it's kind of a bad movie if you've read the book.
Yeah, it kind of is.
And I feel like it should have been more like a 4 to 6 part miniseries.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that would have been great. That probably would have done it justice.
Yep.
Just like a limited series on Netflix or something.
Exactly.
Or
Because
Prime,
the
I guess it
whole
could have
thing
done.
is they got rid of characters
That were
that they should not,
so
in my
important.
opinion, have gotten rid of.
Well, and they completely changed. We'll get to that part,
Yep.
but
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so I have a list here of like the changes that I made. Oh, like I wrote
Okay,
down a list of the changes. So I thought maybe we
Okay.
could like talk about each of them.
That's a good idea. We can just discuss debate, which, by the way, guys, this may end up being a completely separate video depending on how long we talk about it. There's not a lot of characters to go through for the tier list, so odds are it'll all be one video. But
Still, we
yeah,
probably have a
just in
lot to
case
say.
we talk too much because we have a lot to say about this subject.
Yeah. Okay, so the first one that I have is the most obvious one, I think, and that's June being just completely cut out of existence.
Yeah. Why would you do that? She is literally so like, in my opinion, it fundamentally changes Alex to have him go from being a child, a youngest brother,
Yep.
a youngest sibling with an older sister with divorced parents and a stepfather
Yeah.
to,
Which all were cut out. All of those details.
yes, to being an only child whose parents are still together.
Yeah, because the
That
whole
is a
like
huge change.
yeah, because the whole nostalgia of like being at the lake house when his parents were together, or even like after they split up and it was his time with his dad. And
But yeah, like I feel like the difference in a person who is an only child with their parents together versus somebody with siblings and divorced parents is it changes how you view relationships. Like it can
yeah,
change everything about your entire personality, and they just erase that for him.
yeah, and like his whole bond with his sister was such an endearing part of him.
It
Like,
was they only had each other.
yeah, and
Like
like the
their
whole
dad was gone
their mom was
in
like
a
not
completely
involved,
other
or
state.
their mom was involved, but their mom was really busy.
Yeah, but and their mom was a good mom, but just always busy. She's the frickin' president of the United States.
Yeah,
Not
exactly.
to mention, it was a big deal that she was divorced.
Yeah, because she was elected as a divorced woman, and it was a plot point. It was a big plot
Yeah.
point. It just like it takes.
Exactly.
I feel like taking all of that out kind of like made all of the characters a lot more shallow and just like didn't really give them
Mhm.
as much.
Yeah, it did not flesh them out the way it should have.
Yeah, it really didn't.
And June was amazing. We needed her.
I know, and like the whole like obviously the whole dynamic between her and Nora was like cute and fun. Like they were like a little pack. They were a little group.
Yeah. They were the trio.
Yeah, exactly. That was another huge part of the book was that they were like the three
they
or what was it?
completely
The White
cut the
House 3 or
friendship
something
out.
like that.
Yeah. Like they completely cut any kind of like friendships for Alex out.
Yeah, even Nora was like barely in it.
Yeah, exactly. She was just arm candy for like one scene and like a throwaway line, and that was it.
Yeah. And
They did not do her justice.
yeah, and then because of all of that, Pez,
Exactly.
he was
Pez
just like
basically had no point.
yeah, he was like supposed to be like showing that Henry had like a wild side. He had a friend who was like this like outgoing, like outlandish.
And instead he was just like 5 seconds just to show that he exists.
Yeah, he exists and he has a small thing for Nora that they don't really flesh out at all either. And
Yeah.
it wasn't supposed to be Nora.
It's supposed to be June.
Yeah. And Nora's
So,
supposed
yeah.
to be like the super like because him and June were like a thing that made sense, but like him with Nora's supposed to be like the bookish, like really hyper focused, trying to work out problems, solve problems, doesn't have time for that kind of.
Exactly. Yeah, she was supposed to be solely focused on solving problems and things like that.
Yeah, and she had again, they got rid of all of that. They took away her personality and just made her like just to show that each of them did have a life outside of each other, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
The fact that it's like they mention the emails like at the end, like their emails were leaked, but they weren't really shown or talked about at all in the movie,
No, they really weren't.
which
No,
is
like
sad
in
because
the book, it's a huge part of it.
yeah, and like
Like it's how they get to know each other and like
exactly, and in the movie, it's all just like flirty, texty banter back and forth, but like it's the emails are like sweet.
yeah, I feel like they kind of like they left out a huge part of like their relationship, which I get they kind of had to, but also no, they didn't.
They really didn't.
Like we would have watched a 2.5 hour long movie, no big deal.
Yeah, absolutely. They could have added at least some of the emails, like the more like sweet, because they ended in the book. They ended all of their emails with like quotes from like queer icons and
Yes.
like
Exactly.
and it was like these like poetic. Yeah,
and I get it. Movies always have to leave out a lot of stuff. They have to just kind of get to the point, but like they didn't really do the book justice.
they really didn't. They could have. It could have been structured better. They could have made it work.
Yeah.
Like okay, not to not to jump subjects here because I know we're going to be talking about Heartstopper later, but look how much depth they cover in a small amount of time in Heartstopper.
Yeah, but to be fair, that's a show, and I will get to my point on that.
That is a show.
That would have been a 4 to 6 part miniseries.
Yeah, that is a show,
That
but
is
like
what they should have done.
what I'm saying is like they could make it like they could fit like the depth and like love and like true like fleshed out things in a small amount of time if they did it well.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
And this is no shade to the character or the actors. They all did a phenomenal job on their characters.
Yeah, I thought the guy who played Alex was adorable. Like he had
Oh my
a
God, he
perfect
did. I
Alex
loved
personality.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah, he embodied him so well.
And like the guy who played Henry, Nick, whatever his name is. Yeah, I thought that they both did a really, really good job like embodying the characters.
Yeah, they did.
So I would have liked to see them actually get a chance to really do that.
Mm-hmm.
What about the queen being replaced with a king? I mean, I love Stephen Fry, but that was weird.
I get why they did that. I do, because I think they felt it was disrespectful to the memory of Queen Elizabeth.
Oh, you know what? Maybe
Because
that would change
she
it.
died.
She just died. Yeah.
So, because of the fact that I think that they would have felt like they were disrespecting the queen's memory by having a queen.
That's
So
a good point.
I fully understand why they did that. I was annoyed by the fact that the mother never showed up because she had a very pivotal part in the ending.
Yeah, she did.
Like
She just didn't exist.
they just mentioned once that she was off saving elephants and that was it. That is not how she
No.
it made me mad because, maybe it's because of the way we grew up and like the parallels, but their mother was there but not there.
Yeah.
She was too wrapped up in her own grief and not focusing on her children.
And it made you so
And
relate to them.
yeah, and after their father died,
Yeah,
like, hello, and they just completely cut that out.
they did. Instead, she was
And
just like, "Oh, my husband died. Okay, I'm gonna go off and do other things. Bye, kids."
yeah, she was
But
just off doing good, saving elephants, and that's why they didn't bother mentioning her. But
yeah,
actually, which is another thing that fundamentally changes you. Like,
yeah,
if your mother is there, but she's so lost in her grief that she's not even acknowledging you or helping you or being involved or noticing things happening around you
mm-hmm,
and not protecting you,
yep,
that's vastly different than your mother's off doing charity work and she can't get back.
yeah, exactly. It
That's a
takes away
huge
depth.
difference.
It takes away so much depth to the character, and
Exactly.
along with that, they completely took away Bee's whole storyline about her,
Yeah,
like
they did.
her drugs and
Yep.
like
The
the
whole
drug
thing.
problem. Yeah,
Yep.
she had
They
nothing.
took
She was
away
barely there.
everything about it. They just kind of made her kind of there to say a couple things. I literally, when I made this tier list, genuinely could not find a single picture of B from the movie by herself. That's why I had to use a still of the actual actress.
Yeah, because she's not important in the movie. She's just like, "Oh, look, I have a sister." And it's like,
Yep.
okay, cool. She could have been taken out just as she could have been taken out instead of June, but like I wouldn't have been happy about that either. Like that
But
was another
like,
thing that related them too. Like they related to each other because they both had a close relationship with their older sister.
mhm.
This wasn't really changed, but I do not feel like they did the whole turkey thing justice.
They really didn't. He was so scared of those turkeys.
Yeah, it was like a
And we did not
genuine
get to
like
see how and we didn't even get to see him lecture his mom about them. It
no.
was just like, oh boom, suddenly there's turkeys in his room.
Yeah, well he did mention like they were going to waste money at a luxury hotel and I thought that that was stupid, so I
Yeah,
said
but
to
he
just
mentioned it to Henry.
yeah, he just
We
mentioned
didn't
it
get
real
the
quick.
whole thing where he was actually speaking to his mother about it and she was like, fine, then you can have them.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah. And which
also,
is
I did not even realize until I was making this tier list
mhm.
that Uma frickin' Thurman was the goddamn
You
president.
didn't realize that that was her?
I was so caught up in the accent and how annoying it was,
It's not. It's not
my
great.
brain didn't even process who I was staring at.
Yeah. Oh, and that's the
And
thing.
no,
I always
what?
pictured Alex with a southern accent because why wouldn't he have one?
Exactly.
But he
Like,
didn't have
don't
one.
get me wrong. Obviously, his mother should have an accent. She's supposed to be from Texas,
Yeah.
but it threw me off.
It because it wasn't that great.
And yeah, because it was Uma Thurman doing it,
Yeah.
and she's not Southern.
It was all kinds of off. Yeah. But the turkey thing made me mad because like that was so adorable. The way he was so scared and like Henry was
I
like
know,
teasing
and they just
him
kind of
and
yeah, and they just kind of blew it off.
yeah. I mean there are a lot of like small insignificant changes, but
One thing that honestly didn't really bother me, like it bothered me in the sense that it changed the dynamic, but not having the stepfather there, if they would have just had the parents be divorced but with no stepfather, I probably wouldn't have even noticed him missing.
yeah. That wouldn't
Felt
have
like
been
he
that big of a
wasn't dead
deal.
integral to the book.
Yeah, he didn't have a big role in the book anyway. He was just like kind of like I think that the point of him
Yeah.
in the book was basically just like, oh look, this strong woman and this husband who actually just like lets her do her thing and doesn't try to be like,
Right.
you know,
Yeah, exactly.
yeah, overpowering or whatever. I think that was more of just like a feminist like touch in there.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, and another thing that I don't think they did justice was him flying to London and like his whole dramatic storming in the rain thing.
I'm so mad at the way they handled that. They not only had Nora be the one to basically force him to do it instead of him being like, forget this, I'm getting my man,
Mm-hmm.
and storming the gates himself, they didn't even let us see it.
Yeah, they didn't. He was just standing in the corridor in the rain.
That
Or I mean, not in the rain,
was
wet.
such an integral part of that, and, like, for him to just be like, "You know what? No, actually, you're not gonna do this. We're gonna talk this out like grown adults."
Yeah. It
And that
was
was, like, my favorite part of the book.
me too. It was so like big and dramatic and over the top and ridiculous, and you were like, "Hell yeah, go get your man, Alex." Like,
Yeah,
but
exactly. He was like, "You know what? You're not gonna ignore me. Sorry. I'm going to you, and we are talking."
yeah. And then I mean, once when they did show that part in the movie, like it wasn't poorly done. Like that part once it actually was like he was in there and everything, they did
Mhm.
play that like whole scene pretty well.
Yes, they did.
But the whole like him flying off and storming in and demanding to be seen and all of that stuff.
And it being his idea.
Yeah, and it being his idea.
Like, instead, Nora basically had to talk him into it.
Yeah. And he was kind of a little bitch about it at first. Like
Yeah, and
it
that's not how
wasn't
it's supposed to be. Like, he was one who was like, "You know what? No, absolutely not."
yeah. Because that plays into his like big personality.
Yes, exactly, and they really watered him down.
They really did. Probably the thing that bothers you the most and bothers me also.
I've been waiting.
Yeah, the way
I
that the
figured we were
emails
gonna save the best for last.
yeah, yeah, the way that the emails were leaked and who leaked them and why and
The
all of that.
whole frickin' thing. They literally took Raphael, got rid of him entirely,
Entirely.
and instead gave us some reporter ex-lover.
Yeah, like I once
And,
made
like,
out with him naked in a hot tub and now he wants revenge. Like,
yeah, like, no, I do not think so. Like, that is not at all how that went.
no.
And Raphael was supposed to be somebody that he looked up to, somebody that he inspired to be, his mentor, his
Yeah, one of the
somebody that
main what?
was very important to him, who then betrayed him.
Mhm. Yeah, that was one of the main conflicts.
Yeah.
Like one of the biggest
And
conflicts.
instead, we got basically no conflict. We got some guy who was a little bit obsessed with him and got jealous.
Yeah, and like the way that it all comes together in the book with like the opponent and he goes off and like works for the opponent and then you find out this whole thing about his backstory and what happened and how scummy this like this Republican competition or
Yes.
competitor guy is and then he ends
It
up
is
getting found
such
out.
an important part of the movie.
Yeah.
I mean, the book.
Yeah, the book. Yeah. It's such a huge and it's like such a well done wrapped up ending in that
Yeah.
way.
And, like, I had saw that they had combined him and Liam. No, they didn't, because he
No.
mentions that he had a guy in high school.
Yeah.
They just don't bring Liam on, which is fine. Liam is not a huge part of it. He doesn't really need to be. He was kind of like his, you know, oh
Awakening.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, but, like, they didn't even have that line, or I mean that plot in the movie anyway. They didn't have him question himself all that much.
No, he was just like, I kind of thought maybe that's not really that big of a deal, but it's weird that
Yeah,
it's
which, I
Henry.
mean, whatever. It's fine. They don't need to have a
Yeah.
sexuality crisis if they don't want.
Yeah,
That's no big
exactly.
deal.
That part was just
But
like a
to
minor.
completely take Raphael out and turn him into, because, like, I'm sorry, but a reporter that you made out with one time leaking your stuff is annoying, but it's really not that detrimental to anything.
Yeah.
Your mentor going behind your back and destroying your life,
At least that's what
it
you think
seems,
happens. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, like, in your mind, is hugely important.
Yeah. It's
And
devastating.
then finding out the truth is, and especially the fact that they find out the truth and he's still allowed to run for president,
Yeah. Yeah.
is
It's
such like a,
commentary.
yeah, exactly. It's kind of a majorly important part of the political system and how it actually goes, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's just the book has so much depth to it. Like so many different things happening, so many different like conflicts and struggles and it and the movie is just like, here's these two. They're kind of cute and flirty and then they kind of fall in love in the end.
Yeah. They kind of rushed it.
Yeah.
Like, in the book, never mind. I thought I still had the book out here. I was going to count how many pages we get until they even, like, really flirt with each other. Because I think it's like
Oh.
100 pages
Yeah,
of just
they
fleshing
really
out the
build it in.
characters. But I think Salem took the book back into his bedroom. But either way,
Well, and I was like
you
shocked.
get it's such a slow burn at first.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
And then once it heats up, it's but it starts out like they build up to this. It's not just like they hang out a couple times and boom, they're having sex. Like that's not.
Also, like I was kind of shocked when I pushed play on the movie and it was like, here we are at the royal wedding. And I'm like, what?
I know.
Because like it doesn't say anything
literally
about
just started at the wedding.
Yeah, like it should have been like he's on the plane with his non-existent sister and they're discussing his past feelings, like, or his feelings towards Henry and why. You know, like it doesn't explain any of that. It's just like he shows up and he's like, I don't like this guy, and then he puts cake on his shoulder by accident, and like, you know what I mean? It's just
exactly. Like they give us no like lead up. They're just like, oh, here you go. You're supposed to believe that these two hate each other, but it doesn't really matter why.
Yeah, 2 minutes on the 2 minutes in, they're on the floor covered in cake, and you're like, what has happened? Like, why is what the heck just happened? Like, if you didn't read the book, you'd have no idea what was even going on.
I will say the post-credits scene was so funny though.
I didn't even know there was a post-credit scene. No.
It's literally just them laying in the cake, and Alex looks over at Henry and says, "You think anybody noticed?" And then it just ends. It's really funny.
I like that. Yeah, see, and
I really liked the way they did Alex, like both Alex and Henry's characters. They did so well with them that I'm really disappointed that they didn't give us.
That's the most disappointing part. That's the most disappointing part is like they are both so good as their characters that you want to see them play the actual characters.
Yeah.
Not play like this like watered down half version of the characters.
Yes, I am telling you, Amazon Prime would have had wild success if they had made this like a 4 to 6 part miniseries.
Yep, they absolutely would have.
People would have ate that up. All right, guys, so we are going to do our tier list.
Yeah.
All right, so I don't know. Hopefully you have yours in the same order on the screen as I have mine. First up, I have Alex.
Yep, I have Alex. Okay. Where'd you put him?
I haven't put him anywhere yet, but I'm putting him in I Love Him on Purpose.
Same. He was honestly probably my favorite. Like, he was very Alex.
He was the best, yes. Yeah. He was so good. Like, he was so good.
Yeah. His personality was spot on.
Yeah, it really was. Like, his comedic timing, like the dry humor, like all of it. His
like nervous little smiles and stuff. Yeah.
Yes, and I like the character. The character's not problematic.
Yeah.
Like book and movie, Alex are still both good.
Yeah, I would be friends with him.
Yeah, I really like him.
Okay. This is B, right?
Yeah, but I moved Henry over so that he would be next because it made sense to do.
Okay, I'll do Alex Henry next then.
And he's going right there next to Alex.
Of course.
Because I like him equally as much.
I don't think I like him equally as much, but I like him almost as much.
Well, I was going to say maybe a little bit less.
Yeah, slightly less.
In the book, I like him a little bit better than in the movie.
In the book,
they give him a little more personality.
Yeah, and you see more of why he's that way.
Exactly. Yeah, like I said, right now he just has a mom off playing with elephants.
Exactly. And he seems
relate to him a little more in the book.
Yeah, that's another thing is that's the problem with him in the movie because he seems sad in the movie, but they don't give him a reason to be sad.
Exactly. It's just like a throwaway line about his dad dying.
Yeah.
Like
I
mean, if we're going by
Are we going by book or movie?
Movie B. I'm gonna put her in You Need to Figure Out If You Feel Forever about him.
Yeah.
Simply because they don't give her anything. She has no personality. But I'm biased because book B is great.
Is great. You want to put her up in the second tier, right?
Yeah.
So,
but movie B, since we're doing a movie tier list,
yeah,
I have to stick with movie B, and she's not it.
Yeah, she just doesn't really have anything. She's not bad. She just doesn't really do anything.
Yeah, like she's just.
All right. So then, same thing with the mom, I think.
Yeah, with Ellen, with the president.
Yeah, she's just kind of whatever.
Yeah, she's, like in the book, I mean, in the movie, she handles the coming out very, very, very well.
Yeah, she does, of course. But she also,
they make her too harsh. Like in the book, she's not so concerned with her
reputation.
Like she's not. Yeah,
like she is like, don't do stupid shit. Come on now, like I'm trying to get reelected.
Yeah, exactly.
But she's also like very kind and understanding.
Yes, like she's a mother first and foremost.
Yeah.
Whereas in the movie, she's I don't know.
Doesn't really anything. She's not really much.
Yeah,
Like
they
they have
make her
like
colder.
yeah, that's the thing too. Is like in the book, they make it very very much a point to be like, look at her. She really cares about her kids. She is a mother above all else.
Yes,
And they don't do that for her in
exactly.
the movie. The king, I'm putting him in my
I
NDA is
mean,
bigger than yours.
yeah, me too. Because if it had been the queen in the book, she would go and I once saw Mitch McConnell eat a banana because she
Same.
is not redeemed in any way.
Yeah.
In the book, they kind of mix him with the mom, and they're just kind of like, okay, if this is what you want, I
You mean in
guess
the movie?
go forth and be you. Or yeah, in the movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Then
Like
he just kind of softens and he's like, whatever, I guess I'm not gonna change your mind.
exactly. He comes in and he's like, "Hey guys, I don't think this is a great idea. Don't look out the window." Okay,
Yep.
whatever.
And they're like, nope, we're looking out the window. And he's like, all right, do you? Peace out.
Exactly. They make it like that's another thing. Like they water down that conflict too so much where it's
Yeah,
just like not even a
big
thing.
time. Yeah. Whereas in the book, the mom comes sweeping in and she's like, absolutely not. This is how this is going to go. You can
Yeah.
sit your butt down.
See, that's
You're going to
the
be dead soon anyway.
that's the
Like,
she really does.
yeah.
That's like the main thing too. Is they make like all of the conflict so flat in the movie. Like they don't actually have any stakes behind anything.
Yeah, exactly.
Of course, this guy's just gonna go in the bottom because his character sucks
Yeah.
and he doesn't fucking exist.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Now he doesn't exist. Huh?
yeah, because there's nothing about him that makes me want him to exist, so it's fine.
Right. Yeah. No, he's not good. Like, he is not good.
I'm taking a note from you there.
He's not good.
Yeah, he's not good, and his character sucks, and there's no reason for him to.
He's pointless. He's stupid. And like Raphael, if it had been Raphael, he would be up a couple tiers probably
Yeah,
because
he would be probably in the second tier.
Yeah, because he redeems himself so much.
And he doesn't even necessarily have to, like, he kind of has to redeem himself, but also
Yeah,
you understand why he
fault.
did what he did once
Exactly.
you know why.
Yeah, once you know the situation.
Yeah.
All right, Nora. Nora's gonna go to the second tier.
Yeah, I was trying to decide between the
Because
second and third, but she at least has like a point somewhat in the movie.
yeah, since they kind of mix her with June, she gets a little bit, but like they really don't give her the storyline or the personality that they should.
No,
But she's adorable and I love her.
I
so.
hate that they cut out the whole like her figuring it all out, like her working for like an entire weekend to just figure out what's going
Yeah,
on.
to figure out everything, and they're
Because
just
she's
like,
the
nah.
greatest best friend in the world, but they just don't give her
Yeah.
anything.
But instead, they're like, no, not really.
Yeah. Oh
Right.
God, it's so disappointing the more I talk about it.
I know it really is disappointing.
Okay.
All right, how about Oscar?
I guess the third tier.
Yeah, I mean he's
Well, no, maybe the
I
second.
do kind of feel like they kept Oscar basically I mean, aside from the fact that, he doesn't live in California and isn't divorced from their mom, he's all of his like scenes with his son and like, talking about the gender neutral bathrooms and,
Yeah.
not giving a crap at all about him coming out and all of that. I feel like he's pretty good.
Okay, yeah, no, I'm gonna put him in the second tier, but the thing is that I'm gonna put him in the second tier because my bar is so low. And he at least had like his personality and a point a
Yeah,
little
that's
bit.
what I'm saying. Like, because he was in the book so little, they managed to make his character be the way he was supposed to be.
Yeah, so I guess I'll give him
And he's
second tier
about
just
the
for
only
being
one.
the character that.
Yeah, just for being himself.
Yeah.
Pez, I don't know why this picture's like weirdly cut. I could not find a single picture of Pez from the movie except for like a side by side of the actor and the character.
Oh,
and so apparently we only got his hair and then the actor.
That is the weirdest thing I've ever seen in my life, but okay. I guess yeah, I'm gonna put him in third tier too because he didn't do anything.
Yeah, I was actually putting him in the fourth one, but yeah, I guess the third one.
Yeah, because he's not.
Oh, no, I'm putting him in the fourth tier because they gave him nothing. I don't even think he had a line.
Okay. I'm gonna put him in the third just because I like him as a character, who he is as a person.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Yeah, I guess I'll put him in the third because I do like him as a person. Philip is going bottom tier because they didn't even give him his little mini redemption arc. They just made him suck all the way through.
Yep, I put him in the last tier too. He sucks, and he's no personality, but asshole older brother, and that's it. So there you
Yeah.
go.
Exactly.
I guess he can go in third tier
Yeah, he's third tier.
because he's fine.
And also, I did not realize that you said his name like Sean until the movie.
Yeah, I didn't realize that either. I thought it was way more.
Ethnic?
Yeah.
Yeah, me too. Had no idea that that was how you pronounced it until they said it in the
Unless
movie. And
it's
then I was like,
not.
oh. I mean, everyone called him that in the movie.
I know, but I'm saying unless it's not supposed to be in the book, but they were just like,
but
this is easier.
You would think that the person who wrote the book would correct them.
I guess, maybe. Well, I just meant like dumbing it down for the audience.
Oh, that would make me mad. I hope they didn't do that.
Me
All right,
too.
how about Zara?
I'm putting her in second tier just because I really like her as a character.
I know, I loved her.
And she was fine. Like, she didn't make her that different in the movie. She was just kind of less.
Yeah, exactly.
Present.
Yeah, they did a good job with her, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's our tier list for red, white, and royal blue. I think we're pretty similar, if not exactly the same.
I think we did
time.
exactly the same. Yeah.
Yeah, we may have. We pretty much agreed with that one. In my opinion, if you have not read the book, if you have only watched the movie, even if you love the movie and you think it's the greatest thing ever and you want to watch it twice a day, read the book.
Yeah.
You will not regret it. You will love it.
And honestly, if you want to do it in the way that like you use the book to like fill in some gaps in the movie and you makes you feel more for the people in the movie.
Yeah.
Because now you feel the depth that they don't actually show.
Right, exactly. Because I didn't dislike the movie. Like I said, if it had been a standalone movie, I would have thought it was great.
Yeah, I would have thought it was adorable.
But knowing the book, it makes it's still good. Like, that's the thing is I really, really, really like the way all the characters were portrayed. I just wish that they had given them more.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
For a sequel.
Yeah, because they want to see more of those characters.
Genuinely.
But the problem
I've said it multiple times. Oh, what's the problem?
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, I know I've said it multiple times, but Amazon Prime would have done themselves so much justice and done the book so much justice if they had made this a miniseries.
Yep. And that is absolutely tragic that they missed that opportunity and that we missed the opportunity to see, because that's the thing is, this is one of my favorite books that I've read in a long time. I think it was so well done, good. And I loved the characters so much that like I can't bring myself to like the movie because I love those characters so much and they don't exist in the movie.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm sorry, but getting rid of June was just a travesty.
Yeah, and completely watering down some of my favorite characters and favorite like and like the fact that you get to see
moments
and the fact that you get to see their personalities, but you don't get to like see the depth of them.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so frustrating.
And like the part about like the part where they showed the Henry sending Alex the article about him getting somebody pregnant.
Yeah.
Kind of makes no sense when you don't get that he's constantly been like photographed with Nora. They pretend to date all the time so that he doesn't have to date anybody else. And like,
yeah,
you don't get any of that. You don't understand that he's kind of seen as like a playboy.
Yeah, you don't see it like because, and that also changes the whole relationship between him and Nora. The fact that like she's kind of his beard and he's kind of her beard, and they have so much fun with it, and like
they joke around and have a good time with it, and
the whole like cutting June out of it also cuts out like the whole obsession with like her whole obsession with like the tabloids and the things that people are saying about them.
Yes.
And the fact that they're always in the tabloids, like you don't see that either.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So,
and it's just very
we ended up just adding the tier list to our rant about the movie. So
right.
The two got intertwined anyway.
Yeah, they really did. So anyway, guys,
that was our review.
Conclusion. It's a good movie. It's a way better book.
Yeah.
So go out and buy the book.
Go out and buy the book. And honestly, maybe watch the movie first if you haven't, and then read the book.
Yeah, I probably watch the movie first, because I'm going to tell you right now, I think the only reason that I could stomach Twilight is because my ex-husband made me watch the movie. And then, so then when my friend forced the books on me, they were tolerable.
Yeah.
That's why I could handle the rest of the movies because, whatever. Anyway, I think that's it for this video. And thanks for watching. Let us know if you agree or disagree.
Yeah, go ahead and
Let us
argue
know
with
if
us.
there's any
That's fine.
parts. Oh yeah, argue away. Or if there's any parts of the movie that you noticed, like of the book that you noticed were missing in the movie or that made you mad, or parts that you wish they would have left out that they didn't.
Yeah. Yeah. We
And
want to know all of your opinions.
yep, we'll be back tomorrow with a Heartstopper season 2 tier list
And discussion.
So
All right.
bye-bye.
Bye.